When I was in college, I heard a reference to the three great populist movements in Western drama. And I said, what are the three great populist movements in Western drama? And the answer was Greek tragedy, Elizabethan drama, and the American musical. And even at that stage in my life, I was really interested in what makes something populist, what makes a huge, broad sweep of society interested in experiencing a story together. And so I thought, what if we take one example of each of these, lay them side by side? What can we learn about the rhythms of popular storytelling? And so we took Euripides' Medea, Shakespeare's Macbeth, and Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical Cinderella, laid them side by side, and let them talk to each other. And it was unbelievable what we learned. The synchronicity, the shared rhythms, when events would happen in each story being completely synchronized with parallel events in the other stories. It thrilled me as a college student, and it thrills me now, almost 30 years later. And so this has been a lifelong passion project of mine, Medea, Macbeth, Cinderella. This is the fourth iteration of this project that we'll be doing here at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. We did it in college, did it again with Cornerstone Theatre and the Actors Gang in Los Angeles in the late 90s, and then in 2002 we did it at Yale Repertory Theatre. And so this will be the fourth production of the material.
Great.
Well, the nickname for Medea, Macbeth, Cinderella is MMC. And the thing about MMC is that it's really hard to describe, even as I sit here trying to describe it to you, because the tones of each play affect the other two. And so you've got obviously a very fluffy musical comedy, sweet, romantic, and then you've got two tragedies. And the way in which the tragedy of Lady Macbeth's story affects Cinderella's, and the way in which Cinderella's optimism affects Medea's story is really palpable and very moving. So it's sometimes surprisingly funny. It's often very haunting. It's unlike anything. I mean, I've spent so much of my life on it because it's unlike anything I've ever been part of. And when I thought about the possibility of doing it at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, I thought we have the best audiences in the world for this material, because our audiences listen so deeply, and they're so smart, and they're so curious. And I think the ways in which the plays talk to each other will be just a feast for OSF audiences. As different as these plays are from one another, the themes that they share are really striking. All three plays, of course, are title character journeys. They all deal with the theme of ambition in a very strong way. There's somebody in every story who covets the throne in whatever way that they do. There's magic in all three plays, themes of transformation, parent-child relations. So what's beautiful is you take these three plays that are so different from one another, and yet they have so much in common. A critic once said that MMC is a spectacularly long bridge through the history of Western theater. And I loved that image. I think that is part of what it's like to watch it. It's so unique and so special, and I just can't wait to share it with our audiences.